I want you guys to keep a pretty open mind for this video, because I'm going to be laying some claims that you're going to have to really stop and think about. Before we dive into this video, I'd appreciate it if you guys hit the like button and subscribed. Only 11% of my current viewers are subscribed, and I really appreciate it if we could get those numbers up. It gives us a chance at hitting 10k by the end of the year, and that would be just an amazing goal to actually hit. So the F-117 Nighthawk was the first ever operational stealth aircraft. It was added to War Thunder just a few years ago, and it has, it's a cool airplane. I mean, it's a fun squadron vehicle. It gives players an opportunity to actually use a stealth aircraft. And, arriving so far before something like the Raptor or the Felon or the J-20 allows players to actually get a feel for what stealth could be like. And I want to say a few things. One, the F-117 had a very long operational history. It used in a lot of conflicts. It was a phenomenal strike aircraft. And we know for a fact it's been used as a test bed for the last 3 decades. So this isn't that far of a claim. Now, the F-117 was obviously intended to be a strike fighter. Well, not even a strike fighter, just a strike platform. It was never intended to do the air-to-air role. But during the height of the Cold War, when the threat of Russian SAM systems became so bad that American interceptors were going to have a very hard time intercepting Tu-95 bombers if they were to cross over from Alaska, and we were still working on our, surface-to-air missiles, we wanted an aircraft that would possibly be able to take down Soviet bombers before they were ever a threat. And the F-117 was obviously the aircraft to do this. As far as I'm aware, and what I've been told by other F-117, or, well, not other, but F-117 pilots, is that the F-117 could use 2 IR air-to-air missiles, being the AIM-9 Sidewinder. How it would work is essentially a little tiny arm would push the Sidewinder out into the wind stream, the airstream of, the aircraft. This would allow the fins to come active. This would also just kind of power the missile, because other than that, the missile wouldn't be able to receive power. Essentially, what was happening is the electronic start for the Sidewinder was spooling up the seeker head. So think about this: if you're behind, say, a Tu-95, you'd spool up the seeker head, put the missile out into the wind, into the air, open air, out of the bomb bay, and then you just essentially fire it. You'd essentially just be using the airspeed to power your air-to-air missile. And here's the other thing: this isn't something that, wouldn't be impossible. I would very much imagine that, even if it wasn't ever used in full service, this was something that was absolutely tested. This is a time where the threat of Soviet bombers crossing over into Alaska was very, very real. And I promise at some point, there was at least some form of test or paper test that allowed the F-117 to use, I would imagine, the AIM-9G, maybe the AIM-9E, possibly the AIM-9L. Those would be the 3 missiles that would be considered. And really, it'd be a fundamental way to use a basic IR air-to-air missile on a platform that would be pretty immune to Soviet surface-to-air missile systems. And yes, I do know that an F-117 was lost in combat. I don't really want to go into all the details of it. I'm no stealth expert. I know it's a very lucky shot that took out the F-117. The people that shot it down even said it was a very lucky shot to take out the F-117. So if you don't believe that, then you can believe whatever you want, but that's just the truth behind it. So the F-117 was the best bet. I mean, it's better than anything else we had at the time. And here's the other thing: I promise at some point, during the testing for the YF-23, during the testing for the F-22, that we took the F-117 and tried to see what would happen if you lowered missiles out of a bomb bay. Because it's the only stealth platform before these besides the B-2. And it makes perfect sense that it was used as a test platform, because it still is being used as a test platform. I would imagine that Gaijin could absolutely see success adding an F-117 late or F-117 test as an aircraft at, say, 10.3 or 10.0 in ARB, depending on what you give it. You could give it 2 AIM-9Es, 2 AIM-9Gs, 2 AIM-9Ls, and hell, 2 AIM-9Bs if you really wanted to. This isn't something that is super unlikely. This is a really real possibility. There's enough sources out there from pilots talking about it that it isn't that far of a claim. I feel like we have weirder things in War Thunder already. Anyways, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments on the F-117 with AIM-9s. Let me know your thoughts. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.